I guess I just want to know to start, how this all came to be.
Yeah. Well, Woj and I have known each other for 30 years, and he was instrumental in recruiting me to come to St. Bonaventure, to be honest with you. And we had conversations throughout the process, and there was talk about creating a basketball general manager position. And he's been very involved with our collective on the team unfurl side. And we were talking about the potential of a GM position. And this was in June. It's really before I even started here officially. And then one day he called me and said, "Hey, Bob, am I crazy in thinking that I'd be a great fit for this position?" And I told him, "Well, Woj, I can only read what your contract terms are. So yeah, maybe you would be crazy, but no, I understand it completely. You're passionate about this institution and the men's basketball program. And I know the incredible stress that he's under on a daily basis when you're at that level and the preeminent journalist in his field and what he does in breaking news. He's just constantly under deadline and under this severe threat of losing ground. So we started talking about it in June, and he was just coming off the NBA finals. He was coming off the trade deadline. And I said, "Hey, Woj, just let's think about it. You take some time to decompress. I'm going to start there in late July." And we kept talking. And I said, "Let's revisit it in August when you have a chance to kind of step away from a bit." And of course, he didn't step away too much. We were calling, and he was texting me, calling. And every time I talked to him, he was more and more passionate about the position. And in fact, one day I recall it was between when I left Lemoyne and started at Bonaventure, and I was holding some Zooms with some people here at Bonas, and he had literally just broken a trade that I saw on Twitter, and my phone was blowing up, and he wanted to talk to me about one of our players here. So his heart, it was time, and he found a great fit. He and I have this great working relationship and friendship, and certainly he's got an unbelievable relationship with the President Gingrich, and our head basketball coach, Mark Schmidt. Like, for this to work, it had to work. There's a lot of personalities there involved, and certainly for him to walk away from a significant amount of money on a contract to come serve his institution, and it's pretty. It speaks to his character and how center grounded he is.
Well, that is one thing. Like, I know you can't get into the specifics, and it really doesn't even matter to me, but I do think it's interesting just to put into perspective his character and what he's trying to do here. Like, did he have to step away from a lot of money? What was the conversations with that like? Like, did you know what I mean? Like, were you honest? Like, listen, this is what we are really able to provide in this position.
Yeah, he wasn't concerned about salary whatsoever. I told him, "Woods, whatever we offer you is going to pale in comparison to what you're making and what you're walking away from." It's not about salary. If it's about salary, I wouldn't leave. You can read the media reports. He had just signed an extension, and we're talking about, an awful lot of money if you believe what you read. And I never really got into that with him, but I can tell you our position, it's an entry-level exempt position. That's what he signed up for. An entry-level, behind the scenes, exempt from overtime position. He's doing it because he loves this institution. He has a passion for this basketball program, and he wants to make a difference in young people's lives. So Sam, one thing I've talked to him about, it's not just, hey, managing the NIL and bringing in talented people. Like, he wants to help present outcomes to these young people, whether it's internships through his network, right? No one's got a better Rolodex, and I probably shouldn't say Rolodex in this day and age, but contact list than Woj does, and it's global. It's not just college, it's not just professional. It's over in Europe. He's had made such great relationships, and those relationships are going to live on for long periods of time. And he's helped our young people already get into summer tryouts with NBA teams. So whether it's on the basketball floor after their Bonaventure experience is over, or during it with summer internships, or if they want to get into sports management positions, he's going to help out with our J School, our Jandoli School, Mass Communications. He'll be a valuable asset there, as you can imagine, to that degree. He's going to help our other basketball program and our other, he's here paying a visit a couple of weeks ago. We had dinner, and the baseball coaches said, hey, Woj, I got a couple kids in. He's like, of course. And, he went, stopped up, met him, and we got those kids, so, and And he recruited me. He had a lot to do with me being here at Bonaventure too. He really worked hard on me coming back to my alma mater. So for us to get a chance to work together is really special.
It really is. And obviously, you mentioned it, there's so many different aspects of this position. One thing, like zooming out more broadly, I wanted to ask about was, not every college men's basketball team has a general manager. In a way, I feel like you guys are sort of on the front end of this and even hiring someone in that position. Why did you think that it was important to even have someone in that position during this time in college athletics?
Yeah, well, great question, Sam. And I think, our interaction, I think I'm a risk taker to a degree. I weigh everything, but I'm also not afraid to make bold decisions. And I think that goes back to our time at Lemoyne when I'm firmly in the corner that, again, President Lemura's great vision and leadership, but that was the way to go, and it was bold. And there were some people that maybe didn't think that was the right move. And I look back to a couple of weeks ago when Lemoyne beat Syracuse in soccer in the first year of competition, right? And it was a bold move. And sometimes I think you have to make calculated, bold moves, especially when you're a mid-major or a low major where you don't have the resources that others do. I think you have to leverage every asset that you have. Woj is an incredible asset to us. So I like to keep us looking on the horizon, being at the forefront of change, trying to leverage where we can. Maybe we don't have all the resources of some of our colleagues in the A10, but we have other assets. We have other opportunities. I never look at a challenge as anything but an opportunity. And here's a way we can leverage things differently. At the end of the day, I think all athletic departments and university presidents are in the talent. Part of our job is talent acquisition and talent retention. And when we have an opportunity to go acquire someone, the talent of a Woj, then we have to find a way to get that done. And I think it'll be very beneficial for the institution. It's important to me that we are on the forefront of change, that we are cutting edge, that we are staying out ahead of this. Now, maybe we don't have the NIL coffers that some of the other schools in our conference, and certainly not nationally, but we have some other resources, and we're going to leverage every one of those and maximize every capability that we have to make sure that we're on the cutting edge and we're not going to get left behind.
Yeah, I first of all, I love that. I think that's a great way to view those challenges as opportunities. I would say last but not least, I know it's hard to, quantify this, and I think you'll probably see his role evolve more as he continues in it. But beyond the things that I've seen in the articles, about what he'll be doing and the NIL and whatnot, what do you think is the biggest thing that he'll be able to provide to these student athletes that they didn't have before?
Yeah, great question, Sam. I think it's life experiences, and for me, that's the primary benefit here is going to be for our student athletes. And you heard me say this at Lemoyne. Every decision we make, the student athlete experience is going to be at the forefront of that. And I think this is yet another example of that because with his vast network of people, like number one, he's going to be on campus. He's living here. He's going to have an apartment in Allegheny, which is 5 minutes down the road. He's going to be here at our games. He's going to be here during the week. So he's going to serve as a mentor to all these great young journalists that are on campus. And we have a phenomenal mass communication school. I'm a product of that, for better or for worse. Maybe they don't like me saying that, but I'm a product of the J School as I am a product of the athletic program here. I'm very proud of that. And now to have Woj on campus to be able to mentor those young people that have nothing to do with intercollegiate athletics, but then to be able to help shape the lives of these young people, to help form their outcomes, to put them in positions to be successful for their life after Bonaventure when their basketball careers are either done or not done, maybe to extend those in opportunities in Europe or summer opportunities or with the G League or whoever that might be, or they want to enter coaching, or he just has a network that none of us here at Bonaventure, and I would argue that few in the country that have. And for me, that's a huge benefit. Like the student athletes are big winners today because they're going to have a resource that's unmatched, unparalleled at their disposal, not just on the basketball court, but in life.